ITV News Central, good evening. A woman from Coventry who was attacked by a dog has welcomed controversial plans to introduce new dog control orders. Coventry City Council says the proposals are in response to complaints about dogs. It could mean owners having to keep their dogs on a lead in public areas like parks. But many have dismissed the proposals as unfair and heavy-handed. Rosie Poppert's report contains images of injuries suffered following a dog attack.
Caroline Blake used to enjoy jogging in the park. That stopped in April after she was attacked by a greyhound lurcher cross. She suffered horrific injuries to both her legs and no longer feels safe around dogs.
I was in shock from the incident for a good few days afterwards. I was obviously in a lot of pain as well. I could hardly walk. And I had to work from home because I couldn't drive or walk properly, and in fact I couldn't get back to exercise, any form of exercise, for probably 2 or 3 months, just because of the depth of the cut.
Coventry City Council is planning to introduce new orders to prevent the type of attack suffered by Caroline. It means owners would be required to keep their pet on a lead in parks and public footpaths.
We've had people complain to us about the behaviour of a minority of dog owners. I want to stress this is not anti-dog, this is about using what valuable public space we've got for the benefit of all.
The owner of the dog which attacked Caroline was never caught. Although she believes most dog owners are responsible, she welcomes the proposals.
It's the unpredictability of the dog, and even the dog owners, think they know their dogs and think they would never bite anybody, but they are wild animals at the end of the day. I would hate someone to go through what I went through, and it could easily have been a child, and that would have been a lot worse.
Owners could also be banned from walking more than 6 dogs at a time. At Counton Wedge Park today, dog walkers told me they weren't impressed with the dog control orders.
Stop banning everything. I've got a friend who's got 6 dogs. Her dogs are so well trained, but you'll get somebody with one dog and they will have a lot of problems with that dog and cause problems with the person that's got the 6 dogs. It's not fair.
It's going to affect responsible dog owners, and that's what I'm afraid of, because we need somewhere to go and give our dogs a run.
To not be able to let dogs off will actually cause a problem, because dogs can get very tentative if they don't get the right exercise, and it can cause viciousness in dogs.
The council will discuss the plans tomorrow and a final decision is expected in January. If they are implemented, anyone breaching the order could be fined £100. Rajiv Poppert, ITV News, Coventry.
West Midlands Ambulance Service says calls to 999 have almost doubled compared to the same time last year. It says the Friday before Christmas is usually the busiest day of the year, but on Saturday the service responded to a record 3,500 calls in just one day. Emergency services are now asking the public to call only if it's a life-threatening emergency. Balvinder Sidhu reports.
Under pressure and overstretched, paramedics from West Midlands Ambulance Service are working through the night, racing from call to call. They arrive to find an elderly woman in bed.
Okay. Can I do your blood pressure? Is that okay?
Her condition is not life-threatening. She's complaining of a cough.
She certainly doesn't need A&E. 111 was appropriate for her, but obviously they need to check out first and make sure there's no underlying causes causing her to feel unwell.
A few minutes later, they visit a man suffering from a chest problem. Again, it's not life-threatening, but he is being taken to hospital to see a doctor. The service say they're under huge pressure. On Saturday, they took 3,500 calls, 1,000 more than they expected. Staff say some of those were unnecessary. They included people calling in to say they can't find their remote control, have a rash from shaving, their dog is sick, have trapped wind, or their pillows have fallen off the bed.
We're still getting calls from people who have been out for Christmas parties and nights out that have spent all their money and they've rung 999 asking us just to give them a lift home. That's clearly unacceptable. What that is actually doing though is that holding up the 999 call takers from progressing on to the next call. This coming weekend is well known within health service circles as Black Friday. That usually for us sees over 3,800 calls we're expecting this weekend.
These calls put further strain on the system. Ambulance services are not the only ones that are feeling the pressure. A major incident was declared after 51 patients needed beds at Cheltenham General Hospital and Gloucestershire Royal Hospital on Monday.
The system is creaking, it is under pressure at the moment. A&Es are having to address increasing demand, as I've said. The ambulance services are struggling in many parts of the country, and we have a number of issues to deal with, which we are tackling.
Doctors and the ambulance service are urging people to make sure their call is a life-threatening emergency, as the busy period is only set to continue into the new year. Balvinder Sidhu for ITV News.
A Paralympic skier who lives in Warwick has been demonstrating new robotic technology which allows her to walk. 8 years ago, Anna Turney was left paralysed after breaking her back while snowboarding. Well, now she's been testing a new robotic exoskeleton which will allow wheelchair users to walk upright unaided. Chris Halpin reports.
Small steps for you and I, but for Anna Turney, this pioneering bit of technology could be a giant step into a life-changing future. 8 years ago, Anna was left paralysed from the waist down after a snowboarding accident. She's now unveiled a new piece of equipment called Rex. The robotic exoskeleton has been devised by a company in Northampton and allows people who use wheelchairs to stand, sit and walk independently after a spinal cord injury. For Anna, it's been a revelation.
I stand up in calipers at home with crutches, but I can't balance very well at all, and after I've been there 20 minutes my back really aches. Whereas with this, you know, I could stand in this all day.
Here we are now, seeing a miracle really. It's incredible. I'm amazingly proud, but scared.
Once users are strapped in, the robotic suit's movement is controlled by a small joystick. Yasmin Reeve and Lisa Webb are both paralysed from the waist down, Lisa for 15 years. They've both recently tried out the exoskeleton and say it was an emotional experience.
It's amazing, absolutely amazing. I love it. The first time when you stand up it's an amazing feeling. You know, you're trying to hold back the tears.
It's the fact that you can stand, hug somebody, you know, be at the same level to talk to people, just amazing. So yeah, it's really good.
But as well as giving people the chance to walk again, it could also be used in conjunction with physiotherapy exercises, improving cardiovascular performance and allowing otherwise static limbs and joints to be moved and stretched.
We'll be using it to give wheelchair-dependent individuals the chance to be up and mobile within a walking environment. We'll also be using it as part of therapy to help people that perhaps haven't got a complete spinal cord injury, or who have had a stroke, a head injury, or have got MS, to use it as part of rehabilitation.
It's very good for your bones, for your muscles. It stretches you out. We're not meant to sit. You know, we're not built to sit. We're built to stand, and this enables you to do that.
Since her accident, Anna has competed as a skier in 2 Paralympic Winter Games and has won 6 World Cup medals. In her spare time, she also works with disadvantaged youngsters. She's now hoping her example and this new technology will give others the courage to overcome the odds and the chance to stand and walk again. Chris Halpin, ITV News.
That's remarkable. Let's take a look at the weather now. Here's Lucy Kite.
Wishing you a warm winter. Gas Central Heating from Northern Gas Heating sponsors the ITV local weather.
Hello again. Well, as I'm sure you noticed, it's been quite mild today. That's how it will stay tomorrow before it turns a little bit cooler for Friday and the weekend. At the moment, we're in moist tropical air, but as the wind swings round to a northerly direction, it's going to pull in cooler air once again. So we'll wake up on Saturday morning to a frosty start to the day. As for tonight, no chance of a frost. Temperatures holding up in double figures in many locations, higher than where we would expect temperatures to be during the daytime at this time of year. Cloudy with outbreaks of rain though, and that's how it stays as we move through the day tomorrow. See you then.
Gas Central Heating from Northern Gas Heating sponsors the ITV local weather.
Well, finally, Worcester City's FA Cup dreams are still alive, currently holding Scunthorpe to penalties in tonight's second round replay. They've just gone to 10. Things weren't looking good as the visitors scored just before half-time, but a rejuvenated Worcester hit back in the second half thanks to this fine strike from Sean Geddes, taking things to extra time, then a thrilling round of penalties, which is continuing as I speak. But that's it for the moment. Have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.